Breaking news, breaking news. I haven't done a UFL video in a long time, and my goodness, we have some big changes. Nope, no expansion news. I'm sorry, but if you're a fan of the USFL, all those teams are pretty much gone. The Michigan Panthers, the Houston Roughnecks, the Birmingham Stallions, and the Memphis Showboats are all relocating for the 2026 season. And here are the details to come, because this was obviously a little bit ago. The new franchises are now Orlando, Florida, Boise, Idaho, Columbus, Ohio, and Louisville, Kentucky. Those will be getting a team in 2026. This is all coming from the XFL analyst and James Larson. As well as a third additional news, the Arlington Renegades are expected to rebrand as the Texas Renegades, which is interesting because now I'm kind of interested. Does that mean San Antonio are maybe moving? That's something to think about if that continues. But yeah, man, it's official. The change is official. And real quick, that's not including expansion teams. Remember, we're still getting 2 expansion teams this year. So now the question is, where are the teams moving to? To be 100% honest with you, this is how I see it. I could see Houston being the team that relocates to Boise because technically it's the closest team. Memphis is going to move to Louisville. And then it's going to be Birmingham's going to move to Orlando, and then Michigan's moving to Columbus. I think that is what's going to happen. But now the question is, well, where are the expansion teams going to go? Because I don't know where the expansion teams go. Seeing as how Boise's kind of by themselves, I wouldn't mind maybe them trying to kind of create that bridge up west where maybe you put a team in Salt Lake City, and then you either have Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, or Nevada, or even Kansas or Oklahoma, but those are farther away. I think you would rather have, the closest team right now to Idaho is technically San Antonio. Well, actually, I don't know, distance-wise, I think if you left at the same time, I think Dallas might be a little bit closer, but yeah, I have no idea what in the heck is going on now. So, what happens with the UFL, right? Like, what is next? I genuinely have no clue. I think that expansion teams will get announced soon, and then obviously they'll have their own thing because they have to have everyone's gonna have their draft and stuff like that. Which we'll see how that goes, especially because this year's there's a lot of talented young quarterbacks in this draft class that may not get a chance on a roster, which will be interesting to see if they come back. But yeah, I'm just in shock as many of you. Now, for a lot of people that are upset about your team going, let's be so real with ourselves. I am someone who has to be 100% down the middle. Michigan Panther fans, Renegade fans, let's just go off the list. Michigan Panthers fans, Houston Roughnecks, Birmingham Stallion, and Memphis Showboats fans. You guys have to understand that your teams did not produce and they did not do well at all. They had the worst attendance out of all of the teams. Every team beat you. DC, San Antonio, St. Louis had better average attendance. Memphis fans, for the few of you that are actually out there, you're done. Like, I'm sorry, but that was a guaranteed move. And I believe we were told ages ago that I believe the only teams that were for sure moving were Houston and Memphis. I think now it's just a bigger shock that the Renegade, sorry, I keep mentioning the Renegades. The Renegades news is irrelevant. But the Birmingham Stallions, it makes a lot of sense. I'm sorry, Birmingham, but if you have 3 championships, you don't even sell out. I don't even think you sell out 25% of your stadium when you should be selling out almost 70% of your stadium. You're the 3-time defending champions and you barely had people at your games. That's sad. Michigan fans, I don't know if it's much of your guys' fault mixed in with, I think that like it's hard when you choose a huge stadium. That's why I'm curious to see where Columbus goes. Like, and I mean, even Boise's going to go play in a college stadium, I'm assuming. Like the, and for all these people, like, why are all these all these people getting a team and all this? I have no doubt that what I said is probably true, because they probably looked at the map just like I did, and they just decided, well, Birmingham's closest to Orlando, and then who knows, they might have just thrown them in a hat, shook them up, and then decided which team is going to relocate. But I do think Houston's probably going to be the Idaho team, and then everything else. This is going to get interesting. And honestly, I would like it if they kind of shook it up every year, where they just had an XFL draft that they just kind of shook up the roster, where every year they get to have at least five to untouchable players that they don't have to let up. But everybody else gets thrown into a hat and they continue to draft. I think that's what they should do, to be 100% honest with you. Except for the college players, I think every player that you technically draft in college should stay your pick for until that time period ends. But yeah, I'm happy for all these new cities. I think Boise deserves it. I think Boise should do very well. I think if they kind of do what I said, where they need to kind of embrace the college culture and partner up with the college to make sure that this college could have a great attendance, like that you can get some college, students out there, and to get chances for the college, maybe the college athletes to be able to watch them, and to be able to have like a competitiveness, like, hey, you could, even if you don't make it to the NFL, you could have it here to end up coming to the next level. It just makes it a little more interesting hunting for certain places. Like, a lot of people didn't, a lot of people named a lot of these, Columbus. A lot of people thought Louisville was just going to get a team. A lot of people thought Boise was going to get an expansion team. Well, now these teams are no longer expansion teams. Like, these are now full-blown members of the team. So I don't see them going crazy, and I don't see them going up to Seattle, because I just don't see them how it's cost efficient to fly those teams all the way over there by themselves. I think that they would rather have teams that are kind of close together. And I think since you're coming out of Dallas, Boise right now is the farthest. Well, right now I think it's Boise and Columbus that are the farthest. Or actually, I don't know. Orlando. Let me try to. No, I think Columbus is still technically a longer flight. But yeah, it's going to be very intriguing now to see where the XFL goes, especially because if they're going to rebrand to Texas, like, does that mean San Antonio's next? And I mean, like, San Antonio did have bad attendance, and maybe this is a good precedent if you are a UFL fan, and if you are a UFL watcher. It's like every year something could be different, because you do not know. And I mean, we've mentioned Iowa too, like, could be a potential spot, and maybe they do go that route, kind of come back to the Midwest. We know that Iowa has some very loyal people, especially, in like certain places. I think that this is going to be very intriguing for many fans. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. What teams do you think are expansion teams now? Because here's my thing. I can see them 100% trying to put two teams towards the west side. And now, I mean, at this point, every option's available. Like, if they're willing to spend the money to make money, and like sometimes that's what you need to do. Like, maybe do they, everybody was saying like maybe they're never going to go back to certain places. Like, never say never that these franchises that are going will ever come back. They will probably come back eventually. But you have to consider teams like now, will Salt Lake City get a team because they don't have a football team? Will Albuquerque get a team because they don't have a team? And they're a big city that doesn't have a team, right? And then you have to look at places like, will they try Vegas again? Will they try Arizona? Will they try Colorado? Will they go maybe throw a fastball and go to Wyoming? Like, we don't know what their plan is now. But what we could prepare for is that either way, the UFL is showing every person, the new teams the old teams. They're showing them, hey, we need you guys to help this league grow. If you are not helping the league grow viewership wise, like television wise, butts in the seats wise, and making things a lot difficult, like they're saying that they're feeling good, like they don't have to worry every year that they might shut down as of right now. But I think they know that they need to continuously show something if they want to be better, if they want to be, around for a long time. So I'm very curious to see what they do. And yeah, let's see what the next move is for the UFL. Can I tell you that this news shocked me? Because it did. All the UFL teams are now put on notice, and every single USFL team is now officially done. So obviously now the USFL has a new division. Like their division is going to be with new teams. But then that also intrigues me with potential. Well, like this is also their way of like they're branching off in different places, so they don't necessarily have to have rivalries or anything. So who knows? But I'm excited. I hope you guys are. Wow, craziness. I'll see you guys in a different video. Like this video if you liked it. Comment down below. Hopefully we can get some more news on maybe the expansion teams here soon. But that's going to be it from me. So like this video if you liked it. Comment down below, and I will see you beautiful people later.